All right, so I'm the only one here at the moment, so because we'll be waiting a few minutes to see who else shows up. Let's see. La di dee da dee da, la di dee da dee da, la di dee da dee da, la di dee da dee da. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Find adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. They are the gummy bears. The world's greatest super friends. Let's see. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. In the red and the white and the blue it comes to when Captain America throws his mighty shield. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels as Iron Man. All jets aflame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Amazing power, it's Iron Man. Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into Hulk. Ain't he just gallantly wrecking the town with the powerful, ain't some monster who isn't lovable, the ever-loving Hulk. Hulk, Hulk. Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blooming heavens roar, and behold in credulous wonder the god of thunder, mighty Thor. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere, he can breathe underwater, go flying through the air. Noble submariner, prince of the deep, so beware deadly demons. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, can't you see? Just like flies, look out. There goes a Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen up. He's got radioactive blood. From a swing, call him in. Take a look overhead. Hey there goes a Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man. Oh, now we got 3 people watching according to YouTube. That's good. Okay, now it went back down to 1, it looks like. Anyway, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome in. He is yours. Action is his reward. To him, life is a great big hang up. Wherever there's a hang up, there goes a Spider-Man. So we had 2 up to 3, and then now back down to 1. I'm hoping everybody is having fun tonight and everybody had a good day today. Just waiting on people to show up here. Let's see. I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. Hey, Woody, I see you. Hey, Mike. Yeah, hey, Woody. Now we got 3 people in here now, so that's good. Yeah, I just had to step away from the. And thank you. Of course, I thank you guys for the likes and shares. Help to get more people in here, obviously. Um, so, anyways, we're just. See, we got 3 people on now. Let's see what. 6:38. So we may wait a few more. So, Woody, how'd your day go today? Do anything exciting, or was it just the same old, same old? Flintstones, meet the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. From the town of Bedrock, there's a place right out of history. That's right, with the family down the street. Rudolph, courtesy of Red Little Heap. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time. And have a gay time. We'll have a gay old time. Hey, same old, which for me is kind of exciting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes, it's not just people who have autism, but people as they get older just more set in their ways. Any like major changes, and it can be something else there. I've got 3 people in here. I know one person's probably lurking, but um, let's see. And we're coming up on 8 minutes. I guess I can kind of go over what's on tap tonight. So we got 9 articles to go through tonight. Um, for they're all from comic on CBR from CBR. Um, four comics related and 5 anime related. You got 3 of them, in fact, that revolve around Batman Day. So that's kind of going to be exciting. There's some news about a new King Conan series coming out from Conan the Barbarian from Marvel. Let's see. Anime side of it. Let me see. Let me just also go over here and just kind of remind myself of some things here. Let me see. I go to my channel. Okay, let's see now. Just a review real quick. Have a yeah, it's just you and me right now, Woody. And we'll probably be getting into the articles here pretty quick as soon as I just remind myself of what we're doing. I already mentioned the comic stories, but now I got to just remind myself of the anime stories here. Which will include, let me see. Let's see. So I know there's a loop on the 3rd release coming out for the 6th part. There's some news on that. We're going to talk a little bit about some underrated action adventure animes from the 2000s. I think there's a new release from Mappa, some One Piece and Inuyasha news as well. So that's all that's on tap for tonight. We'll get to the articles here just a sec here. Let's see. We still only have the 2 of us. Let's see what and where are we at on time. We're already past 10-minute mark. I might as well then just go ahead and get started. Past the 10-minute mark here, so let's go ahead and get going here on the articles then. Let's see. All right, so here will be the first story of the night. As I said, we have 3 of them that involving this DC's Batman Day event, I guess. They're all interconnected, so DC's Batman Day 2021 lineup includes podcast, FaZe Clan, and Webtoon, and more. Batman, the Audio Adventures, a Batman Fazi or FaZe Clan comic. The first webtoon starring DC characters and free digital comics highlight Batman Day. Article by Tim Adams, published 13 hours ago. There's the thing, the Batman Day. DC has announced its lineup of content for Batman Day 2021, which features a podcast dedicated to the Dark Knight, free digital comics and collaborations with FaZe Clan and Webtoon. Batman the Audio Adventures will debut September 18th on HBO Max for Batman Day. All 10 episodes will be available with its all-star voice cast, including Jeffrey Wright as Batman, Rosario Dawson as Catwoman, let's see, and John Leguizamo as the Riddler. So John Leguizamo was in Spawn as well, so now he's going to be the Riddler. So a limited edition comic will feature popular FaZe Clan members like FaZe Banks, FaZe Apex, FaZe Temper, FaZe Rain, FaZe Adapt, FaZe Rug, and FaZe Blaze in superhero form, and premiere September 24th. Batman Wayne Family Adventures is the first DC webtoon to make its debut today at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So that was this morning, I guess, Eastern. DC Universe Infinite will also make select Batman titles available to read for free, and a free sample of Batman the World will be available in booksellers and comic book shops nationwide on Batman Day. Batman the Audio Adventures. The HBO Max exclusive audio podcast recruits Saturday Night Live alums to join Wright, Dawson, and Leguizamo. The show is inspired by Batman the Animated Series and the classic 1960s Batman TV show. Batman the Audio Adventures is written and directed by Emmy winner Dennis McNicholas, Saturday Night Live, and includes original music from Doug Bossy. It also features performances by Chris Parnell, Melissa Villaseñor, Seth Meyers, Brent Spiner, Data from Star Trek fame, as well as Dr. Noonien Soong, the Soong family, Ike Barinholtz, Bobby Moynihan, Kenan Thompson of Kenan and Kel fame, Jason Sudeikis, Alan Tudyk, who has voiced a few characters in some DC, who's voiced some other characters in DC, including I think he did the Golden Age Flash's voice in Batman Brave and the Bold back in the late 2000s there. Heidi Gardner, Brooke Shields, Paul Scheer, Tim Meadows, Fred Armisen, and Ray Wise. The description reads, quote, in the scripted audio original produced in partnership with Warner Brothers and DC, Gotham City comes to lurid life in the theater of your mind with a sensational pageant of Technicolor villainy unlike any other on Earth. Mafioso penguins, thieving catwomen, terrorizing riddlers, killing jokers. Man, almost sounds like kind of a Batman version of the 12 Days of Christmas, right? uh, a city where some problems can only be solved by a billionaire in a bat costume, unquote. A special 80-page comic will be released in October and features a prequel story by Dennis McNicholas, Bobby Moynihan, Heidi Gardner, Paul Scheer, and others. Art by Leonardo Romero, Juni Ba, and others, and cover by Dave Johnson. Before we get to this next part, let's see if anybody else has shown up yet. We've still apparently only have one person viewing this. Oh boy. Great. The connection's stable too. All right, so let me see. I got back up to 2 people now, so that's good, but all right. So anyways, as we continue on then here, Batman the World. The publishing event Batman the World honors the Dark Knight's international influence on pop culture. The massive 184 hardcover anthology releases globally in 14 international markets on Tuesday, September 14th, and features Batman stories by top creative teams across the globe. The award-winning duo of writer Brian Azzarello and artist Lee Bermejo, Batman the Damned, the Joker, headline the anthology in a story that finds Batman reflecting on his time in Gotham. Reminds me a little bit of this past year. One of the things I saw this past year when they did a whole bunch of Batman movies on Toonami, they were showing one of them was like the series Batman Day One, which is a collection of like stuff as they presented as like kind of an anthology. There will also be a free Batman the World sampler available on DC Universe Infinite with the lead story titled Global City by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo, plus previews of stories from international talent teams. So there we go. So that's the end of that story. All right, so let's see now. Only 2 of us here thus far. Alrighty then, so let's see. Let's get ready to move on to the next story then. All right, and this, of course, is kind of an extension, part and parcel story we just read. Next one. DC teams with FaZe Clan for limited edition Batman comic. To commemorate Batman Day 2021, DC joins forces with the FaZe Clan for a custom Batman comic and limited edition merchandise. Article by Noah Dominguez, published 13 hours ago. So here's, I guess, some artwork from it. The popular esports team known as the FaZe Clan is slated to star in a custom limited edition Batman comic book from DC later this month. Today, September 8th, DC announced its plans for Batman Day 2021, which will be held on Saturday, so a week from this Saturday, September 18th, as part of the celebration. So this will be like the day after we do the Action Comics #1 show for the historical comic retrospect. So, as part of the celebration, FaZe Clan Batman will arrive just under a week later on Friday, September 24th. The limited edition comic features, quote, FaZe Clan members like FaZe Banks, FaZe Apex, FaZe Temper, FaZe Rain, FaZe Adapt, FaZe Rug, and FaZe Blaze in superhero form. The FaZe Clan, the FaZe Clan. In addition to the comic, there will also be limited edition Batman and FaZe Clan merchandise, such as esports jerseys, tees, hoodies, and more, unquote, which will be available on FaZeClan.com, shop.dccomics.com, and NTWRK, which I think is pronounced network. It's one of those fifth dimension spellings, like Mr. Mix Yes Spitlick. Here's, I guess, some of the artwork from this comic right here. Batman with the FaZe Clan. What an interesting group right there, aren't they? The City of Justice. Right. DC has also announced that all 10 episodes of the HBO Max's Batman the Audio Adventures podcast will debut on Batman Day, September 18th. A free sample of Batman the World will also be available in comic shops and bookstores on Batman Day. What's more, DC's first webtoon, Batman Wayne Family Adventures, launches today at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. That's earlier today, obviously. Finally, a selection of Batman comics will be available to read for free on DC Universe Unlimited. And yes, you do hear a truck going, the trash truck going by. Normally, our trash gets picked up on Tuesdays, but with the holiday this week, that's why you're hearing it now. And pretty late, mind you. So, all right, so that's it for that article. Still only 2 people in there. Okay. So I guess Woody, you're the only other one here, huh? All right, so we'll get ready to move on to the third of 9 articles in total, but the third and last article of this little Batman Day trifecta here. There we go. Let's see now. C, which means yes in Spanish. C, which means yes in Spanish. Well, thank you for being here, Woody. Now we just get more of the people to come, but I know we always know that Leto and Backgoat, of course, usually late on Wednesdays because he's got his bingo going on, and Leto's getting ready for work. So, but anyways, well, let's get to this article then. This next article. We're like 26 minutes in. Just gonna wait for the trash truck to go by before I start reading. And with that, let's get on to this next article. DC announces its first webtoon with Batman Wayne Family Adventures. DC's first ever webtoon, the standalone webcomic Batman Wayne Family Adventures, launches as part of its Batman Day 2021 celebration. Article by Emily Zogby, published 12 hours ago. Very cartoony look to it, wouldn't you say? DC launched its first ever webtoon titled Batman Wayne Family Adventures, the first publication in a new partnership between the companies. Batman Wayne Family Adventures finds the Dark Knight needing a break, but with the newest addition to the Bat family, Duke Thomas, moving into Wayne Manor to join an endless supply of adopted, foster, and biological vigilante children, Bruce Wayne finds himself with his hands full. Is being a father harder than being Batman? Which we've been talking about. Well, that's been going on for Batman's entire existence. First, of course, with Dick Grayson for a number, had the Golden Age, the Earth 2 version of Dick Grayson and Robin, and then the Earth 1, and then as we get the post-crisis, you not only had the whole evolution going from Dick Grayson to Jason Todd to Tim Drake, then to Stephanie Brown, and then Damian Wayne. So, Batman Wayne Family Adventures finds the Dark Knight. Oh, okay, we already read that part. Let's see. Bruce Wayne finds himself with his hands full. Oh, wait, okay, we read that part as well. Readers will find out when the first episode of Batman Wayne Family Adventures is available later today. A creative team on Batman Wayne Family Adventures includes lead artist Inks, Starbright, writer C.R.C. Payne, storyboards by Maria Lee, backgrounds by Lanma, lettering by Kilamal Shabal, coloring by C.M. Cameron, Camille Cruz, and Gene Kim, with Susan Chang as creative producer and Will Kennedy as associate producer. The DC Webtoon partnership was announced earlier this month, and Wayne Family Adventures is the first of many standalone webcomics from the DC Universe that have yet to be published on the platform and don't require any previous reading. Webtoon is a mobile storytelling app and is currently the world's leading digital storytelling platform. With over 72 million active viewers on average, the collaboration with DC Comics comes with the hope that Webtoon will introduce these iconic characters to a new generation of comic readers. Webtoon also has partnerships with other partnerships include Legendary, POW, Top Cow Image, and more. Quote, DC is excited to introduce our iconic characters to a new generation of fans worldwide, unquote, said DC General Manager Daniel Cherry III. Quote, we've been working closely with the Webtoon writers and artists to adapt our characters and stories to Webtoons mobile format. Our shared goal is to create fun and compelling DC stories that all readers will enjoy. This partnership is yet another example of DC's ambition to, in smaller quotes, meet fans wherever they are, unsmaller quote, and continue sharing DC fandom. End quote there. This is one of many releases that DC has planned for its celebration of Batman Day 2021 on September 18th, including the debut of Batman the Audio Adventures and a custom Batman comic with FaZe Clan on September 24th. Batman Wayne Family Adventures will be available to read on Webtoon starting today at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So this is a big thing they were doing today. Big announcement. There's Alfred. There's Bruce on the far right there. Then you got some Robins there. I guess this guy up front is the newest guy. The girl over here, I think, is Stephanie Brown. You got that might be Lucius Fox's kid right there, and then Tim Drake, I guess, or something to that effect. But anyways, there's that one. So we're a third of the way through the stories already. I got CBR reminding us about disabling the blocker, ad blocker. Let me see. So the fourth and final. Get to it. Oh, here we go. So we will get to that. Let me just set that up. Let's see if there's anything new. Oh, now I'm back down to one viewer again. Like the only one viewing it right now. Oh boy. On YouTube, it's saying 2 people are still viewing. So yeah, there is a little bit of a. Anyways, let's see. Back up to 2 on StreamYard as well. Okay. All right, so let's get to this article then. Fourth and final comics article of the night. Fourth comic overall. The final article of the comic section of the newscast here. Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar reunite for King Conan series. The original team from Marvel's 2019 Conan the Barbarian comic are coming back together for King Conan, a new six-issue saga launching in December by Jeremy Bloom, published 4 hours ago. Actually, I've got to step away from the computer for a moment. I will be right back. Alrighty then. So let's see. And I see you just said something there. Your most faithfulest fan. Yeah. Well, you're usually here, right? You're usually here at the beginning, so I guess you could make that argument. Um, Bago's pretty loyal too. He just gets in late though. He's got other stuff going on. Leto. So I think a lot of you guys are pretty loyal to me, and I'm glad for that. I appreciate that. Um, okay, so we read all that. So let's continue on with this article then. The team that brought Robert E. Howard's famous Cimmerian to life in Marvel's most recent Conan the Barbarian title are returning with King Conan, a 6-issue series hitting comic shops in December. The series, written by Jason Aaron, penciled by Mahmoud Asrar, and colored by Matthew Wilson, showcases the savage barbarian feeling restless as he sits on the throne of Aquilonia. Aquilonia. Searching once more for adventure, Conan sails westward and encounters a new danger in a tale, quote, that will take the story of Conan further than has ever been revealed in any media today, unquote, according to Marvel. And here's, I guess, the cover right here, marked King Conan. Conan the Barbarian. Oh, look at that. Oh, man, look at all those corpses under his feet there. Look at that. Standing atop of them. A wizened warrior. Aaron, Asrar, and Wilson were the creative team on issues 1 through 12 of Marvel's 2019 Conan the Barbarian book. The company's first effort since reacquiring the rights to Conan from Dark Horse Comics, which held the license to Robert E. Howard's character from 2003 to 2018. The trio defined the feel of the series with their story, quote, The Life and Death of Conan, unquote, which saw the barbarian battling Razazel, the Crimson Witch, and her 2 children, and even coming face to face with his god, Chrome, in the afterlife. Quote, I knew as soon as Mahmoud, Matt, and I finished The Life and Death of Conan, in smaller quotes, in Conan the Barbarian, one of the absolute personal highlights of my career as a comic book writer, that I wasn't done hanging out with everyone's favorite Cimmerian, unquote, Aaron said. Quote, as King Conan rode into the sunset at the end of that story with his son Prince Khan by his side, I always knew where I wanted that story to take us next. Now at last comes the next chapter, as Mahmoud, Matt, and I reunite to reveal a pivotal moment in Conan's life as a king, as a father, as a mortal enemy of snake-worshipping Stygian warriors or wizards, and as a barbarian who was born to chase the wind, even to the ends of the earth, unquote. Quote, by Chrome, we're finally bringing the barbarian turned king to the raiders, unquote. Asrar added, quote, it's criminal how much I'm enjoying drawing each panel in this book, considering what we're putting him through, unquote. Excuse me a moment, got to step away from the computer. Sounds like my dog's acting up, so I'll be right back. That can't be right. 0 viewers. Oh boy. Uh, no, we should have at least 2 of us in here, right, Woody? YouTube's being a little funny tonight, aren't they? Anyways, already at the 43-minute mark here, so we'll try to get through the rest of this. We're just under halfway through the stories tonight, obviously. Okay, so as we finish up this article here, Aaron, Asrar, and Wilson's new series marks the first instance that Marvel has published a comic with the title King Conan in 38 years. The company's first King Conan book began publication in 1980, supplementing the titles Conan the Barbarian and The Savage Sword of Conan. The series was renamed Conan the King in 1983, running for 55 issues until its cancellation in 1989. King Conan #1 releases December 15th from Marvel Comics. So I'm guessing since this is a new book, this is going to be volume 2. If they had a King Conan before, this is going to be volume 2, I'm guessing. No, we're done with the comics portions of the broadcast tonight. So let's see. Righto, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty then. So yeah, so now we're gonna get to the anime portion of our episode. I believe we have 5 episodes there that we're going to. Last one. Let's see. Oh boy, it looked like we lost one of the stories from. There was another story, but apparently it must have got shifted out or something because it's not here now. And I really don't care for this particular. Um, so it looks like we may only have four anime stories then, because one of them apparently got shifted out, I believe. Uh, if we can find something that shows us a way to switch over to another page. And I guess not. So, all right. So we'll actually go to the second. Well, yes, I guess now it will become the first story of the night. 5 underrated action adventure anime from the 2000s. This is actually going to be. There was a loop on the third. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe I can find that actually. Let's see if I can find that particular story. And if I can, then we will be able to do it. We did see that. There was one from there earlier, though. Well, I guess we won't then. Yes, we will just have to go with what we were going with. Ah, there we go. Let's see. We got. Oh, Woody's made another comment, so let's see what. Yoink. Ah, that sounds funny. All right. So, anyway, so let's get to this article then. So we'll have 8 articles tonight since it's pretty much. All right. So while the 2000s was a great decade for action adventure anime, some titles were sadly overlooked. Here are 5 that still deserve more attention. Article by Christy Gibbs, published 14 hours ago. Well, yeah, I think I know what that one is. That one looks like Ryback. The 2000s was an especially great decade for action adventure anime, from The Gray Man and Gurren Lagann to Samurai Champloo and Full Metal Alchemist, just to name a few. However, many solid action adventure titles have been all but forgotten over time or were overlooked altogether during their release, unable to compete with the flashiness or sheer mainstream popularity of the more famous titles. Here are 5 such underrated action adventure anime from the 2000s that still very much deserve a look. Kino's Journey, 2003. I remember watching this one before. This one was a very interesting one. So here's what they have to say about it. Although this title saw something of a revival with the release of the 2017 remake, the original anime series released in 2003 remains underappreciated. Directed by the late Ryutaro Nakamura of Serial Experiments Lain, Sakura Wars, Ghost Hound fame, the story follows a traveler named Kino who, accompanied by a talking motorcycle named Hermes, journeys through a strange world made up of numerous different countries, each extremely unique in their customs and social norms. Kino spends strictly 3 days and 2 nights in every location, making the anime, for the most part, a purely episodic show, as each episode covers his time in a particular place, albeit one that's a lot darker than viewers might suspect. Kino's journey isn't a typical action adventure story by any means, and the art style may fool viewers into expecting a relatively innocuous story with little in the way of major surprises or mature content. Yet, it's one of the most quietly sophisticated and startling atmospheric anime of its time. And as I recall, I believe it was ADV who actually dubbed Kino's journey, if I remember correctly. So the Houston crew. So here we go. Going on to the next one. Moribito, Guardian of the Spirit. I've seen this one before too. This one was a pretty good one. 2007. This one was actually on Toonami for a while there. And they had a pretty cool opening song from Lark and Ciel. A pretty rockin' hit. Released in 2007, Production IG's Moribito was likely passed over in favor of the big name titles and fan favorites airing that same year, such as Bakano. By the way, Moribito was dubbed here in LA, as I remember. I remember correctly. Bakano was dubbed by Funimation. Gurren Lagann was dubbed out here in LA, and Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, which I don't know if that was actually dubbed. Moreover, when Moribito first aired on Cartoon Network the following year, it ran for only 10 of its 26 episodes before being inexplicably dropped from the schedule and only finally re-aired in full in 2009. This is a shame, as it means potential viewers missed out on an anime that features a highly self-sufficient female protagonist in her 30s, a huge rarity in anime, named Balsa, who actually looks, sounds, and acts her age, and has never once made the target of cheap fan service. Oh boy. Now, granted, that all is true, and that is kind of, and it is kind of a good, refreshing look. But the way this guy's putting it, it's like you can just tell from his writing, this guy's an SJW, a white knighter. Actually, is it a guy or is it a girl writing this article? I should double check that. I want to make sure I'm at least accurate. Oh, yeah, girl. So the girl. My mistake. I think I thought it was a guy, but it's a girl with some SJW tendencies. A spear wielding bodyguard, Balsa's adventures take place in a world that's realistic and beautifully intricate, with its own self contained history and culture that bleeds through in each and every episode. While not a fast paced title, the series includes some incredibly fluid fight scenes, so viewers can expect tense, high quality action sequences as well as criminally underrated stories. Um, Anyways, I'm gonna go. Let's see. Gonna go off camera for just a moment here. Got to take care of something real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. And we're back up to 2 viewers. YouTube's playing havoc with the numbers, aren't they? Anyways. All right, so here's the next underrated action of it. The Daughter of 20 Faces, 2018. This is one I haven't seen, but I don't know if this one was actually dubbed. Let's see. Half mystery, half action adventure, both elements of which are wrapped in an emotionally powerful coming of age series. The Daughter of 20 Faces doesn't shy away from depicting some fairly dark and tragic material despite its somewhat milder beginning. Let's see. So we're coming up on an hour out on the hour mark then here, 57 minutes. So. All right, still only 2 of us. We're even an hour in now. All right, so let's see. Set in 1950s Japan, the clever and resourceful 11-year-old Chico is rescued from her murderous aunt and uncle by a gentleman thief and master of disguise, 20 Faces. He invites her to join him and his crew on their heist. At the heart of the show is a blossoming father-daughter like relationship between the two. Although the episodic mini-adventures only last for so long before the story takes an unexpected turn. Also released as Chico, Heiress of the Phantom Thief, the anime suffers from being one of the least watched Bones-produced anime, particularly in contrast to many of the other titles released by the studio during the same decade, such as Wolf's Rain, Eureka 7, both of which were dubbed out here in LA. Johnny Young Bosch was actually had significant lead voice roles in both. I think he was Kiba in Wolf's Rain and Renton in Eureka 7. Oron High School Host Club, which was dubbed, and Soul Eater, and of course Full Metal Alchemist, which were all dubbed by Funimation. And Vic was actually in all 3 of those. Vic was Tamaki, and Vic Mignogna was Tamaki and Oron. He was Maka's dad. I can't remember the character's name in Soul Eater. And then, of course, Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. The Daughter of 20 Faces may not have that kind of visual panache or fan-pleasing type of cast, but it remains an astonishing, heart-wrenching show that's every bit as deserving of a watch. Ride Back 2009. Oh yeah, this is the one that had the picture earlier that I was talking about. This one was a pretty interesting one too. So, and this one was dubbed by Funimation. So, 2009's Ride Back by Madhouse is somewhat flawed yet extremely interesting series. Only 12 episodes long, despite its rather complex and involved storyline, the anime undergoes a major tonal shift at around halfway point. For some viewers, the blend of this mecha drama and racing genres may seem incongruous, particularly given that it stars not the typical teenage male lead, but instead a 24-year-old college student professional ballet dancer named Rin. And just in case you don't know what the term mecha is, giant robot. So, basically, she rides around on a motorcycle that can turn into a robot that she is a pilot of, basically. However, these latter factors also play a major factor in the originality and creativity of the show. It's a mecha anime, in parentheses, sort of, about motorbike racing, sort of, that features slightly unconventional yet appealing character designs and a sci-fi racing narrative of which um, doesn't depend on the stereotypical mecha designs or a team of male teenagers to tell a compelling story. So it's kind of like a combination of like Robotech and what was that one motor? I can't remember it. Viper's Creed. Okay, it's kind of a combination of Robotech and Viper's Creed. In that regard. To tell a chameleon, one that, given Ren's habit of riding her vehicles in a dress, contains surprisingly little in no way of penny shot style service. Tagami Baki, letter B, 2009. Tagami Baki is a fairly unconventional shonen series, yet also one that's very emotionally effective. With a strong mix of fantasy adventure and drama and an excellent cast of characters, Tagami Baki takes place in an alternate universe, a land of perpetual night in which postmen, known as letterbees, make their deliveries. Through exceedingly treacherous terrain, armed with only a single gun and a bodyguard, although the gun doesn't fire bullets, and the bodyguard usually isn't human. Interesting. Again, don't think that one got dubbed either. If this sounds slightly strange, don't be tempted to look up more, as no additional information is needed to thoroughly enjoy this unique show. In fact, it's one best enjoyed when diving straight in. Moreover, despite some of its darker and more complex themes, there's little to no objectionable material to be found here. So Tagami Baki happens to be quite a family-friendly title. While the anime may be a bit long for some, as the story carries over into a second season, Tagami Baki Reverse, for a total of 50 episodes, plus 2 optional viewing OVAs, the payoff is worth every second. Oh, there we go. So there's that story. See if we got any more people came in yet. Doesn't look like it. And of course, the numbers keep going back and forth between 1 and 2. Well, it looks like we got another like. So that's good. Somebody did come pop in for a moment. That's nice. Thank you for the like and share. Hopefully, we can get some more people in here to watch. Let's see. Here's our next story here. Let's see, where are we at on time here? Hour and 5 minutes. So I think we're making reasonable time here. Mappa takes on another series with Dance Danseur. Mappa, the studio behind the final season of Attack on Titan, is creating an anime adaptation of George Asakura's Dance Danseur. Article written by Michael Lacerna, published 13 hours ago. We got a dancing anime here. Mappa is taking on another anime series with the newly announced Dance Danseur. The show's producers announced the new anime adaptation on Twitter. One of George Asakawa's previous works, the coming-of-age story Oboreru Knife, was adapted into a live-action movie, but this will be the first of Asakura's manga to receive an anime adaptation. The series will be directed by Munehisa Sakai, who previously directed Zombieland Saga and has worked on shows such as Sailor Moon Crystal and Yuri on Ice. Yoshimi Narita, who also worked on the upcoming Office rom-com My Senpai is Annoying, handled the series composition, while Hitomi Hasegawa, who has worked on a large variety of shows ranging from Gurren Lagann to Kimi ni Todoke, will provide the anime's character designs. Dance, Dance, Danseur tells the story of Junpei Marao, a young man who goes to his sister's ballet recital expecting to be bored, but he ends up being moved by the power and grace displayed by the male dancers. Marao takes up ballet himself, but after his father dies unexpectedly, he decides to become, quote, the quote unquote the man of the household and moves on to more traditionally masculine pursuits such as learning the martial art of Jeet Kune Do. That all changes one day, however, when a new girl transfers into his class and encourages him to rediscover his love of dance. The new series is the latest anime adaptation from MAPPA, the prolific animation studio, and is behind the final season. That is behind the final season of Attack on Titan, as well as the anime adaptation of Gege Akutami's Jujutsu Kaisen and the upcoming Chainsaw Man. Earlier this year, an animator who previously worked with the company criticized studio for taking on too many series and for subjecting its artists to quote unquote factory like working conditions, which were allegations that MAPPA quickly denied. The studio recently opened a new location that is solely dedicated to the production of Chainsaw Man anime. And the company announced that it is giving animators who work on the series higher pay and better benefits than the usual industry standard. MAPPA's next releases will be the original anime Tact.op Destiny, which it is co-producing alongside Studio Madhouse, and Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, a theatrical release based on the prequel manga that preceded the main Jujutsu Kaisen series. The studio will release the final part of the final season of Attack on Titan in January 2022. A release window for Dance Dance Danseur has been scheduled for sometime in 2022. No details have been announced about an international release for the new anime at this time. Oh yeah, they got to debut it in Japan first. Make sure it's going to be popular enough. There's that article. Let's see. Batgoat. Hey, Batgoat. You're here finally. Sup, bro daddies. Yes. And I thank you, of course, for any and all likes and shares you can do for me to see if we can get some more people in here. YouTube's playing a little havoc with the numbers and the watch-wise, viewing-wise. But I'm glad you're here, my friend. Anyways, so we're let's see how many. I initially said we were going to do 9 stories tonight, but one of them kind of disappeared on me, so we're doing 8, and I think we got maybe, if I'm counting right, I think we got 3 more to do here. Let's see, 1, Two. Actually, it looks like we have two. Maybe I did miss something there, but that one, yeah, we wouldn't do that one. Okay, yeah. So we actually only have two left. I think we're all of them here. Okay. So we got just two more stories to go. Maybe I got through, again, there was one that I had to kind of skip over, but let's see. 4 and 3 is 7. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me just go back to just kind of remind me. How many stories did we just get through reading on the anime portion thus far? 1, 2. Oh, 2. So, yeah, just a 2 there. 2 and 4 is 6. So, yeah, so we got two more stories to go. We initially had 9, but one of the stories I was going to do disappeared on me. So we're now just we're doing 8 here. So we had 4 comic stories and 4 anime stories. All right. We Are One is a celebratory anthology of why we love One Piece. To celebrate 100 volumes of One Piece, check out We Are One, in quotes, a series of 5 short films released on the official One Piece YouTube channel. Article by Lee Russo, published 11 hours ago. On August 30th, a live action video was uploaded to the official One Piece YouTube channel titled, quote unquote, We Are One, Celebration Movies. This was the first of 5 dramatic short films made in celebration of the manga's upcoming 100th volume release. So, wow, this thing's been around since the 90s and it's now up to 100 volumes. It's quite a feat. Each short film is around 10 minutes long, but incorporates some element of One Piece to its core story. Whether that be impactful moments, characters, or the themes explored by this series, they are all directed by Mika Ninagawa, a female Japanese director, best known for directing Sakuran, 2007, based on the manga of the same name, and the quote-unquote heavy rotation music video for the idol group AKB48 in 2010. The short films also feature anime segments, Toei of One Piece, as well as a theme song accompanied called Twilight, quote unquote, performed by the band Radwimps, best known for composing the soundtrack for the films Your Name and Weathering with You by Makoto Shinkai. The individual short films themselves are excellent in both writing and directing. The first one centers around a manager and engineer working in a small startup company who can't seem to get along or agree on anything. The engineer walks out after an argument and it's up to the manager to apologize, admitting that they can't achieve their goals without working together. This short film is meant to evoke Zoro and Sanji's relationship. 2 strong-willed men who can get under each other's skin, but will put their differences aside when the time calls for it. I was just recently watching an episode of One Piece where that's exactly what they did, as they're in the Alabasta arc in the anime. The second film centers around Minami, a chef who dreams of owning her own restaurant and is currently planning her engagement. Unfortunately, her fiance doesn't seem to take Minami's job seriously, calling it quote unquote comfortable and fun. Anyone who knows the stress and difficulties that come with running a kitchen knows it's no walk in the park. When Minami talks of her decision to start her own restaurant, her fiance is further dismissive of her dream. The bull-headed salaryman is only worried that she won't be able to clean, cook, and raise their future kids. Oh, isn't he a charmer? The next day, Minami starts reading his One Piece collection on a whim and is inspired by the series' strong female characters. Um, Nami, Nico Robin, Vivi. She decides she will not put aside her dreams for someone who doesn't respect her. So she breaks off her engagement in a note for her ex, and also takes his One Piece manga collection with her like a real queen. He treats her like she's dirt, and then she takes what he would probably consider his most prized possession. That's an interesting movie concept there. See if what you guys are saying about that. Let's see. Sup indeed. They yoinked one of his stories. Yeah, yeah. One of them kind of dropped out of sight there. Oh. Let's see. One Piece's female characters have always been strong, fleshed out, and motivated by their own dreams and emotional bonds. So you cannot pick a more perfect theme for these quote unquote We Are One films. Episode 2 may be just the strongest story of all five. And as an additional surprise, the animation featured in this episode also includes the first chilling vocal appearance of Yamato, performed by Saori Hayami, who I guess was the Japanese voice of Yumeko Jabami from Kakagori, which we talked about yesterday, and Shinobu Kocho from Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, basically. The third film is especially interesting as it is tied to Trafalgar Law and Corazon's relationship. Riku, a boy from Kansai, moves towns and is made fun of for his dialect by his new classmates. However, a goofy teacher aide befriends him, helping him come out of his shell and smile more. When the teacher eventually leaves for a new position and at a different school, the boy wishes him goodbye with a smile, knowing that good things will come in his future. It's well worth watching each of these dramas for films firsthand, and all are available for free on the One Piece YouTube channel with English subtitles. There are plenty of Easter eggs sprinkled throughout each episode, and the performances and animation are outstanding across the board. This was a perfect way to celebrate the manga's 100th volume. There we go. So we do have one more article to go through. And before I do that, of course, I will be stepping away from the computer for just a few minutes. I'll be right back as soon as I get this set up. All right. As I said, I'll be back in a moment or two. Got to step away for a moment. So be right back. Alrighty. Bad Goat just said so. Let's see what. We stunk up the joint at trivia tonight. Sorry to hear you had a bad night at trivia there, Bad Goat. Uh, Glad you're here, though. Um, so, anyways. Uh, all right. So, this is going to be the last main story of the night. We're coming up on. So, I guess we did make. We did make some pretty good time here. All right, Inuyasha gets a 16:9 HD remaster for Blu-ray release. The classic Inuyasha anime from the early 2000s is being re-released on Blu-ray with a brand new 16:9 HD remaster and new art by Rumiko Takahashi. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 7 hours ago. And there, of course, you got Inuyasha to the far left there, Kagome, you got Shippo down there, and then behind Shippo you got Moroku and then Sango. And of course you can catch the Inuyasha spin-off, Yasha Hime, on Toonami on Saturday nights at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, Saturday night, Sunday morning technically, but Inuyasha is getting remastered for modern displays. The original Inuyasha anime series that ran from 2000 to 2004 is getting re-released on Blu-ray. The new reissue will be spread the series out over 4 releases. The first of which will hit retailers in Japan on December 24th, so Christmas Eve, basically. The rest of the series will be released in 3 more collected volumes that will be distributed throughout the first half of 2022. Each release will contain a new HD remaster that will display the series for the first time in full 16:9 widescreen. The original 4:3 broadcast versions will also be included on each disc. The new Blu-rays have only been confirmed for Japan at this time. Series creator Rumiko Takahashi has released new artwork of the show's eponymous Inuyasha to celebrate the anime's remastering. So here's some of the artwork right here, it looks like. Looks a little chalky to me. Very light on the strokes there, it seems. Inuyasha tells the story of Kagome Higurashi, a high school student from modern-day Tokyo who suddenly gets teleported through time to a feudal Japan that is being terrorized by demons. Upon arriving in this new era, Kagome is mistaken for the warrior princess Kikyo and is tasked with recovering all of the shards of the shattered Shikon Jewel, a powerful magical artifact. She is joined in her quest by a powerful swordsman and Kikyo's former lover, the half-man, half-demon Inuyasha. Again, I'm sorry, I gotta go off camera for just another moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and before I get back to the article here, there's a few more. Hope they put in a trigger warning for Twitter's sake. For the Twitter's sake. Did anyone ask who farted? Laugh out loud all the time. Our MC Rachel is a theater gal. She goes out of her way to pronounce it the right way. Yeah. I guess I can see the double entendre there in it. Anyways, let's get back to the. And I can find a cursor here to where. All right. While Rumiko Takahashi was already considered one of manga's greatest creators, thanks to her earlier work such as Yorosei Yatsura and Rama One Half, Inuyasha eclipsed the success of all of her previous works. The manga had a circulation of over 50 million copies worldwide. The English distributor, Viz Media, says it has sold over 2 million DVDs of the series. The anime series aired on Adult Swim from 2002 to 2006 and was one of the most popular titles in the early 2000s anime boom, alongside shows such as Dragon Ball Z and Full Metal Alchemist. In 2018, Takahashi was inducted into the Eisner Hall of Fame. Let's see, a sequel series to Inuyasha entitled Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, began airing in 2020. The series tells the story of Towa and Setsuna, the twin daughters of Sesshomaru, as well as their cousin Moroha, who is the daughter of Inuyasha and Kagome from the original show. And I believe that Towa and Setsuna's biological mother was Rin, who was voiced in the English version by Brent O'Brien. Currently, of course, Towa is voiced by Erica Mendez in the English version. Setsuna is voiced by Kira Buckhead, I believe, or Buckland. And Moroha is voiced by Morgan Berry, who kind of goes back and forth between Dallas and LA. So, let's see. While the series isn't written by Takahashi herself, it does feature the return of many of the cast and crew of the original anime and features character designs by Takahashi. As with the original series, Yashahime was also broadcast in the United States on Adult Swim. It's where it currently is at. Despite a mixed reaction from fans of the original series, Yashahime was successful enough to get a second season, which will premiere this October. That's, of course, in Japan. We'll probably get it later. So there you go. So that's it for main stories tonight. There we go with the main stories tonight. Yeah, so let's see. With these half demons, I can't help but wonder which half is demon and which half isn't. Yeah, is that like a half decaf espresso skim foam? No. Um, yeah, technically, Toa and Setsuna are half demons because of course their parents are Sesshomaru, who is a full demon, and Rin, who is a full human, or who is human. Moroha is technically a quarter demon because Inuyasha was actually a half demon. His father, basically him and Sesshomaru share the same father, who was a dog demon himself, and then Inuyasha's mother was a human. She had a half demon and a human who basically sired Moroha, who's a quarter, technically considered a quarter demon. So that's how all that works. And yeah, that I'm pretty sure I know you're gonna tell me you were joking about all that, which is cool. All right, so let's see now. So I've got through all the main stories. Does seem like it's kind of a slow. Now the counter keeps saying that we got one viewer, but I know we have 3. So the counter's being, obviously YouTube's being a little screwy with the counter, I guess, right now. Let me see if that helps any. Well, now it's saying we got 2 viewers. Yeah, so it does seem like a slow night tonight. Let's see, hour 36, so past the hour and a half mark. So I think it might be a good time to start wrapping up, guys. Doesn't look like anybody else is going to show up. Got through all the main stories. So are you guys ready for this day in each history? Five. Let's see. 1991. 91, and then 2006. If Ren was a demon, what is... No, not Ren, R-E-N, Ren, R-I-N. Stumpy. Stimpy. Oh, you're thinking of the other show, Ren and Stimpy. I'd hate these modern spell checkers. All right, so are you guys ready for this day in each history? Because I think we're going to start wrapping up here. Don't forget, of course, Batgoat and I will be doing, we'll be finishing up April of 1938 this Friday, looking through Dell and United Features. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Nietzsche. All right. All right. Well, without any further ado, let's take today being Wednesday, September the 8th. Let's take a look back this day in history. Do it, Mike. September 8th. Yep. That's what we're doing. So, first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today to 1991. First off, on this date in 1991, the NWA strips Ric Flair of the NWA World title after he signs with the World Wrestling Federation. So basically what's going on at this time, of course, this is still when WCW was still a part of the National Wrestling Alliance. You know, Ted Turner had bought out Jim Crockett Promotions 3 years prior to this in 1988. At this point in time, Jim Herd was the executive vice president of WCW. And he and Ric Flair were having this major, backstage feud going on where there was just, basically Herd thought that Flair was too old. He was trying to make him do like stupid gimmicks. And Flair just wasn't having it. So the contract came up. He moved on to, he basically signed with the World Wrestling Federation at the time. The thing is that as the NWA title with, as part of the NWA, what they did was when you became champion, you had to basically put up a like a $25,000 deposit that would basically guarantee you return the belt when the time came for you to drop the belt, when they decided it was time for somebody else to. Well, Flair did not return the belt, so he didn't get his money back. He instead, of course, this led to the whole bit where he took the World Heavyweight title to the WWF, claiming it was the Rio World title. The NWA actually did file papers for them to stop promoting it as such. So that was all that. So anyways, on this date back in 1991, 30 years ago today, Ric Flair was stripped of the NWA title upon signing with the WWF. So, back coach said history, and then Stimson, J, Cat, and Ren Hork. Okay. Yeah, I myself never watched Ren and Stimpy, so. So anyways, moving on to the next piece in each history. And this is a time when 1991 was just so nice that we got to hit it twice. As another piece of niche history happened in 1991 on this date. The syndicated show Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars, produced by Sunbow Productions, Sunbow in conjunction with Marvel Productions, and distributed by Cluster Television. Sunbow, of course, was the company that gave us the Transformers 80s series, as well as G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero. This is one of its last productions here in first-run syndication, Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars. On this date in 1991, premiered Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars in first-run syndication. There we go with that one. Let's see now. So, moving on from that, our next piece of niche history, we head to 2005, which was, of course, 16 years ago today. On this date, 16 years ago today, in 2005, the 130th issue of Looney Tunes from DC Comics went on sale on this date. This series is still running to this day. It started, don't know when it started, but on this date in 2005, 16 years ago today, issue 130 went on sale. Started actually back in 1994, and it's running to this day. I guess it's gotten up to 260 issues from DC Comics. So on this date, 16 years ago today, 130th issue of Looney Tunes went on sale on newsstands for $2.25. It was a 44-page comic. So anyway, so there's that. And before I get to the last one, I did see that there were some more comments here, so we'll take a look at that. Let's see. Wow, 30 years since that. Since Ric Flair, there's a whole NWA title situation there. Yeah. You know, that was 30 years ago that happened. So. Okay, so with that, there's one last piece of niche history to get to. This one happened in 2006, which is 15 years ago today. Let me see. On this day, 15 years ago today, Group TAC's Black Blood Brothers would premiere on Kid Station Tokyo MX in Japan. It was licensed, of course, by Funimation in the States here. So on this date, 15 years ago today, Group TAC's Black Blood Brothers would make its debut. All right, so with that, guys, I thank you guys for being here. Bad guy, I know you were late because you were doing your trivia tonight. I hope you at least had fun. I know you probably didn't do too well winning wise, but I hope you at least had fun. I hope you had fun when you came in here as well. And with all that, guys, I will hopefully see everybody here tomorrow night. Bye.